Good day, everyone. I'm Kong Yi Ning from the Human Resources Department. Today, I will be sharing a topic that affects many workplaces, including ours. So, the topic today will be toxic workplace culture, the invisible virus in our organization. I call it an invisible virus because it spreads quietly, but its effect can be just as harmful as any physical illness. As HR professionals, it's our role to identify these symptoms early, address them, and create a culture where everyone feels valued and safe. Let's begin by understanding what toxic workplace culture actually means. It refers to an environment where negative behaviors such as gossip, bullying, unfair treatment, or lack of trust become normal. According to a 2025 survey by the New Straits Times, about 59% of Malaysian employees said they would consider resigning if their workplace becomes toxic. That's more than half of our workforce, which means culture is not a small issue. It directly affects retention and performance. As HR, we don't just hire and manage people. We also manage the emotional climate of our workplace. Now, what causes a workplace to become toxic? Most of the time, it starts with poor or inconsistent leadership, when leaders use authority without fairness or empathy. Another cause is lack of communication, when employees feel unheard or afraid to speak up. Gossip, favoritism, and heavy workloads can also lead to frustration and conflict. Just like an infection, these behaviors spread fast. When one person feels mistreated and others see it happening without action, it tells everyone that bad behavior is acceptable. And that's how culture slowly turns negative. To make this more real, let's look at Malaysian case. In 2025, the Ministry of Health Malaysia received more than 430 complaints about workplace bullying. Employees reported being shouted at, humiliated, or ignored by superiors. When the issue was investigated, one senior manager was found guilty of hiding those complaints and was later dismissed. This incident pushed the ministry to introduce official anti-bullying guidelines for all staff. It's a strong reminder that toxic culture can exist even in professional environments. As HR, we must ensure every complaint is heard, investigated, and resolved fairly, no matter how senior the person involved. When toxicity exists, the impact can be seen everywhere. Employees start to feel stressed, demotivated, and unsafe. Productivity drops, mistakes increase, and teamwork disappears. Many start taking frequent leave or even resign without notice. For the organization, this means higher turnover, lower morale, and damage to its reputation. I often say, a toxic culture is like a slow poison. It doesn't show immediately, but over time, it destroys trust and performance. That's why maintaining a healthy culture is one of HR's most important responsibilities. In Malaysia, several laws help us create ethical workplaces. The Employment Act 1955 protects employee rights, things like fair wages, working hours, and rest days. The Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, or OSHA, ensure both physical and safety at work. It reminds us that mental health is part of safety too. Lastly, the Code of Conduct for Industrial Harmony 1975 promotes communication and fair treatment between employers and employees. These laws act as our ethical foundation. They guide HR decisions and protect both the company and the staff. Following this law isn't just compliance, it's a sign of respect and responsibility. Now, let's talk about prevention. How do we stop a toxic culture from spreading? First, we need clear anti-bullying and harassment policies. Everyone should know what behavior is unacceptable. Second, train our leaders and managers to lead with empathy and fairness. Third, Encourage open communication where employees can give feedback without fear. Recognize and reward positive behavior, not just good performance. And finally, provide mental health and wellness programs to support staff who are struggling. Preventing toxicity isn't just HR's job. It's shared responsibility of every person in the organization. If any employee faces mistreatment or feels uncomfortable, it's important to know how to report it safely. Reports can be made through our HR hotline. Or official email, and we also provide an anonymous option for those who prefer privacy. Every report will be investigated fairly and confidentially. Once the issue is reviewed, the company will take corrective action if needed. Afterward, employees can also receive support or counseling through the Employee Assistance Program or EAP. Remember, raising a concern doesn't mean creating trouble. It means you care about making things better. As HR, our duty is to listen, protect, and act. To wrap up, let's remember this simple formula, which is healthy culture equals happy employees, and happy employees build successful organizations. Culture doesn't change overnight. It grows through our daily action and values. Each of us play a part in creating a respectful and inclusive environment. Let's continue to treat one another with kindness, honesty, and empathy. A healthy culture begins with each of us, so let's make kindness and respect contagious in everything we do. These are the references I used for this presentation, including the Employment Act, OSHA 1994, which is Occupational Safety and Health Act, and credible sources such as the International Labour Organization and Millennium. They support everything I have shared today about workplace ethics and culture. Thank you everyone for listening. Let's keep working together to build a workplace where people feel safe, respected, and proud to belong.